Hey everybody out there in the YouTube universe, this is Mr. Movie, and in today's video we're going to do something a little different. It's going to be a top 5 list, but it's not going to be my normal top 5 where I do the top 5 movies in my collection from an actor or a director. It's not going to be that today. Today, as I said, a little different. We're going to do the top 5 remakes that are in my collection. Now, let me get this off my chest. The current trend where they're remaking everything is driving me insane. Hollywood, if you're listening, stop it. There's no need for it. You have enough creative people in this world that you could come up with new content, new stories. We don't want to see the same thing over and over and over again. It's so frustrating, especially if it's a classic. Leave it alone. Even if it's a good movie, if you're not going to improve on it, leave it alone. Don't go after nostalgia for money. Don't go after a certain audience because you know they like the original and then you ruin it. Just leave it alone and come up with something new. Now, most remakes are awful. Some of them are really good. Some of them, in the case of some of the ones I'm going to mention here, are better than the originals, in my opinion. And that's why they're in my collection. So, getting right to the list, we're going to start with number 5. And that's Dawn of the Dead. I love Dawn of the Dead. I love the original. Romero, he's the man. He started the whole zombie craze. You find with horror movies and sci-fi movies, they tend to be the best remakes. And the reason for that, I think, is because now you have the technology to catch up to the story. A lot of times back then they had to make do, and they made excellent films. But when it's updated, the visual matches what you're seeing in the script, or if it comes from a book, what it was in the book. This is a case of that. The updating of the way the zombies look. I also like that now they run and they're fast and they're scarier that way. The old ones, you can run away from them, but these ones are scary because they'll chase you and they won't stop. And I love how most of it is set in a mall because that's just such a modern thing. The action is really good, the characters are good, and even the acting is good. So I love that as a remake, and it's one of the ones that I think is better than the original. Moving to number 4, we have The Fly. The original, Vincent Price. Great movie, great actor. But, again, another horror movie. I think the updated technology helps it a lot because it looks really cool and it's really gross, and you get into it and you can't go wrong with Jeff Goldblum. I mean, come on. But I think the story is great, and the main thing with this is you feel for the character. You feel horrible for him going through all of this. Now, is it his fault? Yeah, but he didn't expect this, and he was a good guy, and it just the slow process of him turning into the Fly is just heartbreaking. And then at the end where he just begging them to kill him. It's heartbreaking, and you don't really see that in a horror movie much. But again, love this remake, and I think it's better than the original. With number 3, I'm gonna go with Ocean's 11. Ocean's 11, the original, great movie, the Rat Pack. But I think this is another case of what they were able to do effects-wise and story-wise. The combination, I think, is better in this movie. The cast is amazing. Everybody in it's great. Big names. And the whole story and scheme and how they work everything out, I mean, it's really unbelievable, but it's amazing. It's so entertaining. There's so many lines from it. It's just a tremendous movie. I watch Ocean's 11 all the time. The sequels, not so much. They're not awful, but nah. But this remake, again, I think is better than the original. Coming in at number 2 is The Thing. Now, listen, the original was good, but in this particular case, the remake is so much better. One of the best horror movies ever made. Another example of being the actors coming through because it's in one specific location for 99% of the movie. Kurt Russell, I mean, a bunch of great actors, but Kurt Russell, he's great in it. The effects, oh my God. John Carpenter just did so much with these effects. It's a crazy looking movie with the gore and everything. It's just insane. And they couldn't do that then. There's a remake to this remake, which isn't so good. It's not horrendous, but it's nothing like this. This is standalone. This is top tier horror films of all time. And another case of the effects catching up to the story. And I also think this is better than the original. Coming in at number 1. I can't show it to you, and I'll tell you why. It's Scarface. Of course it is. One of the best movies ever made. Great when it came out, also a cult classic. Now, is it overdone and too many people are into it and it's not cool anymore to like Scarface because everyone has a Scarface poster? Yes. Does that take away from how good this movie is? Not at all. It's so amazing. Oh, the reason I can't show it to you, the actual film, is because one of my friends has never seen Scarface, which I just think is, they should be arrested for that. It's just a crime against humanity to not have seen Scarface. So I had to lend it to him. So I don't have it on hand. But you're with me, right? I mean, if your friend hadn't seen Scarface, you would lend it to him, the poor person. But the original is an Italian Scarface, Italian mafia. They changed it to Cuban in this. And but it's an Italian guy playing him. Al Pacino, come on, Hall of Fame. And it's just, I mean, it's so over the top, but it's so good. The most quotable movie maybe ever. And, everybody does the accent. It's just tremendous. It's one of my favorite movies. It's in my top 10. I've seen it a million times. And another case of the remake being better than the original. So those are my top 5 remakes that are in my collection. Do you agree, disagree? Let me know in the comments. If you like the videos, the top 5s, the movie reviews, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when I do new ones, and like it, share it with all your other movie crazy friends, and I'll see you again. This is Mr. Movie signing off. I'll see you again next time at the flicks. See, I did that twice. A remake.